Hey traders, welcome back to another trading recap. Today I'm going to break down how I was able to make $2,118 in profits from these three trades that I placed, two of which were profitable and one of them was a loss. And I want to mention that all of these trades were talked about live in the Market Master group. So if you want to trade alongside myself and other traders, get my day trade, swing trade alerts, my detailed trade plans, and even watch the same scanners that I'm watching in real time, you can get started and try the group out for free. That's going to be linked down below in the description. But anyway, let's break down these three trades. Let's start off with the first one, which was actually a losing trade, and that is going to be the stock symbol CLRO. Okay, so CLRO, what I was looking at here as the stock was gapping up in pre-market, these stocks that run up all the way up until the market opens with a strong trend opening near the high of pre-market. In my experience from all of the data that I've tracked over the past couple of years, these stocks tend to spike back up a little bit at the open. They'll retest that pre-market high level, maybe break it by a little bit, and then come straight back down and tend to fade lower throughout the day. And essentially that's what happened. However, we didn't get that pump back to the pre-market highs at the open. And because of that, when I saw that the stock was kind of consolidating and trading sideways, even though it was below the VWAP, it was holding up pretty well. And there was dip buyers that were showing up under $2 per share. And what I was seeing is that it was starting to form a base. And from there, I was expecting to get a quick pop back through VWAP and maybe back above this opening high. That's what I was looking for. And that's kind of why I scaled into a little bit of a position here. I had 6,500 shares total in this position. I didn't buy all of those at once. I was scaling in, like I said, but my average cost was about $2.04 per share. And simply put, what I was looking for ended up not happening. We got a breakdown here that happened very quickly. I sold into this dip down to new lows, and I took a $484 loss on this trade. And as we can see, it did bounce back up, and I would have been able to get back out at about break even, but overall, my general plan for this trade kind of went out the window as soon as it started to break down below $2 per share. So I sold and I moved on from the trade. Even though this was a losing trade, I wasn't too upset with how this worked out because it was a relatively small loss and I was able to make back that and more from the other two trades that I placed. Okay, so moving down the list, the next one is going to be NVAX. NVAX was the big winner for me today. Another stock that was gapping up in pre-market. This is actually how I trade probably 95% of my trades. I find these stocks that are gapping up in pre-market, and then I look to trade them either to the long side if they're continuing to show strength at the market open. Usually that will be in the form of an opening range breakout, or I look to short sell them if they're likely to come crashing back down after they had that big gap up. NVAX in this case though was a strong one. This was a stock that I bought early this morning. Taking a look here at the Market Master group, every single morning I post a list of the opening range breakout levels for the top stocks to watch for a gap and go. NVAX, we can see here, had an opening range breakout level of $9.67. So if we go ahead and draw that breakout level here, we can see that's going to be the high of this candle right here. We draw that on our charts and we can see it breaks out and continues higher throughout pretty much the rest of the morning. Now I will say that I was a little bit preoccupied with the CLRO trade, unfortunately, so I didn't get in right away as soon as it started to break above that opening range. However, when I did get in was just above $10 per share in this range here. And the reason for that is because I posted about this as well in the group. Let me scroll down here. We can see today at 9:52 a.m. I posted NVAX, lots of demand in the $9.90 to $10 range on recent dips. Should keep pushing as long as buyers remain in control there. So what I meant by that was, here we're looking at the 1-minute chart. We can see that right here as it dips down into the 990s, it comes pushing right back up. Same thing happens once again down here, and then the same thing happens once again down here. So I actually bought into this dip after it held the 990s once again, and not even 10 minutes later I was able to sell for almost $1 per share in profits, locking in over $1,800 in profits on this one single trade itself. This was a really nice trade for me because at the end of the day, it's not every day we get a nice opening range breakout followed by a consolidation period to buy into, followed again by another breakout to new highs. A lot of times we'll get that first initial opening range breakout, and then the stock will come fading back down and go lower throughout the rest of the day. So NVAX was a nice clean long opportunity today on this dip once it started to show strength above VWAP and once those dip buyers started to show up in the 990s. Okay, so the third trade today is going to be TCRX. This is actually not in order based on time because E-Trade arranges my trades in alphabetical order. So TCRX I got into very early this morning as well. And again, obviously this is a stock that was gapping up in pre-market. And if we take a look once again at the opening range breakout levels, we had TCRX opening range breakout level of $3.54. So if we draw that here, we can see that is going to be our opening range breakout level. We push above that level, and right away I buy into this in the 360s, and almost immediately it pushes up to a high of $4.25, and then we get a volatility halt. Now I didn't get into a full position here or even close to it. I had a very small position, about 1,100 shares, and if this move would have happened a little bit slower and there were some pullbacks and some new higher highs and higher lows that started to form, I would have probably added to that position and made more overall on the trade. But this volatility halt kind of killed things for me. I don't like to be too greedy when a stock is halting for volatility because a lot of times they can have that big spike up, they can halt, and then as soon as that halt is over, they can come crashing right back down. So simply put, all of this is kind of just an excuse to say that I sold way too soon. As soon as this volatility halt was over, I was out in the 430s. So I made a nice profit on the trade overall, but at the end of the day, should have, could have, would have made a lot more had I been more patient and had I added more size into this profitable trade. By the way, I should mention, taking a look down here at the daily chart for TCRX, one of the reasons that I was looking to sell in the mid to low fours anyway is because on the daily chart, we can see back here in July of 2022, the 52-week high for this stock was $4.56. So I was really just expecting that area to become a little bit of resistance, and I was expecting to potentially see it reject and come back down from that level. So since I didn't have a full position and I didn't really scale in or out of this trade, I kind of just sold all of my shares into that area. And really that kind of leads me to the overall lesson that I take away from today's trading, and that is to be patient with your winning trades. Now this should go without saying, but being patient with your winning trades is much different than being greedy because you can be patient with your trades and try to make the most out of your winning trades as long as the price action is still moving in your favor. With TCRX, for example, even though I had a volatility halt and that's something that I don't like to typically hold through, as soon as that halt was over, it came straight back up and started pushing to new highs. There was realistically no clear bearish reversal signal that the market was showing me, so there really would have been nothing wrong with me holding on to this trade and making a larger profit until it started to show some bearish reversal signs. The same thing is kind of true with the trade in NVAX. I was selling just under $11 per share. It ran up to a high of $11.36. So my exit overall wasn't too bad. You can never expect to sell at the exact top, but realistically when I was selling, the momentum to the upside was still strong. So I really should have probably waited at least maybe for one of these lower highs to form before I started to really sell out of the rest of my position. And in doing so, by letting your winners run and making the most out of every single one of your winning trades, that's going to, of course, really help to offset your losing trades, which should hopefully be managed very well and should be relatively small. So overall, with my losing trade on CLRO, I kept that loss small, and my other two profitable trades obviously outweighed that loss. So I am pretty happy with my trading today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you like this style of content where I share my trades and go over my thought process behind why I got in and out of these trades, please make sure to comment and let me know. I'm thinking about starting to do these just about every single day, whether they're profits or losses, so I would love to hear your feedback on this style of video. And if you enjoyed, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you want to hear about what I'm trading in real time, you can try out the Market Master group for free. There's going to be a link down below in the description to do so. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck with your trading.